Hi, everybody. My name is Kathy. I'm a media production specialist at PALCS and a producer of the official PALCS Winging It podcast. And I'm here with,
Paige Rebuck, the FBLA historian.
and this is
Winging
Winging
It.
It.
So, as the historian, obviously, I make sure that we have documentation of both the notes and agenda. I also do take the minutes just because just to take a little bit off the secretary's plate because she is also our vice president, as you mentioned before, Naomi. And I also do a lot of small things behind the scenes that I know a lot of people don't necessarily see. Like I'm keeping documentation of what we're doing, who's doing what. However, I would say that most of my effort is definitely put towards the publicity committee where I run the Instagram. I make all of the Instagram posts. I make sure that we are trying to get as much engagement as possible. And we're also informing the people who are our, following at the moment are mostly members and parents, but so they have that information, especially about upcoming fundraisers. Like we're doing a Sarah's Candy fundraiser, and we definitely want to get the word out about that. And so far, it's only been out for like a week and a half, and we've already about halfway to our goal. So clearly it's working.
What kind of drew you to FBLA? Like, what sold you on it?
I am a talker and I love public speaking. So the fact that I would be able to do that on top of mixing it in with this interest I already had for business was an invaluable opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. Before I joined FBLA, I'm like, I have all these things I can do and I'm just not doing them. And then I was presented with the opportunity to do something. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I can actually explore a lot of these interests like through the publicity committee. Like, am I interested in marketing and doing these different social media type roles? And it's like, yeah, it's fun, but do I prefer the analytical side and all of these different options that I get to test the waters with that I just adore.
I mean, you do a lot. You wear so
Yeah.
many different hats. What is your, I guess, top three favorite things to do at FBLA?
I really enjoy making the Instagram posts every week to try to see if we get any new faces at the meeting. I also really like just going to the officer meetings and talking to my fellow officers. I've known them since last year. We've all really been able to bond together as like a slightly smaller collective group. I know all of them, I would say relatively well. I've met all except one in person. And my third favorite thing is honestly just the environment and the people I'm surrounded by. It is such a judgment free zone and such a collective of interest that it's just indescribable how nice it is to have a community of people who not only understand you for being another cyber school student, but also understand you in the fact that you both want to pursue something in business as a whole.
How often are meetings and sort of what goes on during FBLA meetings?
So our meetings are every other Tuesday at 2 p.m. So a very accessible time for most people. We go over the advisor's report, the treasurer's report, any upcoming dates, information. We talk about our Big 33, which is our volunteer program. We encourage all of our members to go out and volunteer either within their community or within the PALC space as a whole. And then we move on to breaking out into committees. And that's where I come in as committee head. And there's also the Ways and Means Committee and the Planning Committee, which is going to be working on our Christmas party and also works on getting guest speakers set up for different interactions. And then once our meeting is over, which is usually around 2:30, for the rest of the half hour that we have, we usually talk to either a guest speaker or we do an activity together. And yesterday we actually had a meeting and we had the college advisor come in, mix match it. And they gave a very good presentation on going to college and finding different scholarships and trying to find a college that fits for you. And we have a bunch of others that you can only access through us, through FBLA and coming to these meetings. And I think that's not only a great resource for PALCS as a whole, but also for our members. It's a little special thing that they get that other people don't.
Can you tell me a little bit more about guest speakers?
So we have themes every month. Like this month is human resource management. So although we did not have anybody accessible to talk about specifically human resource management, The month previous, we talked about joining competitions, as that's something us in FBLA participate in. And we actually had one of our old members come back and actually talk to us about her FBLA experience competing at states. And I believe she competed twice in two separate categories. And she talked to us about what it was, why it was beneficial, like how the whole process went, how to pick a different category for what you're interested in. And I think that was very helpful, especially for somebody who has not competed before, just to get a nice overview of what it would look like and how to pick like a category that works for me.
Interesting. How do the competitions work?
There are regional, state, and then national. The regional, we are in Region 29, and that is all cyber schools. So our entire thing is actually online. So there are two separate spheres, either objective tests, which are a majority, and that is simply the highest score wins. And then you have presentations, which is you come onto Zoom, you present, and then you leave. I'm personally doing a presentation category, which is very rare in the cyberspace. There was nobody competing in my category for the last 3 years.
Wow.
In the cyber region, and very few that competed in a similar. I'm doing impromptu public speaking, and then public speaking had maybe a handful over the last 3 years. So very unpopular generally. When you're region first, second, or third place, then you move on to states, which is in Hershey, down here in central Pennsylvania, in the region that I'm at. And you compete at states, and states is very large. You're going from this small regional, you might be competing against 5, 6, maybe 10 kids, to like 200 in one foul swoop. And from there, again, the objective tests, you take a test, highest score, same thing for the presentation. It's just getting more difficult. And then from what I understand, we've only had one person win states and move on to nationals. And this year it will be held in Anaheim, California. And I'm really, really hoping to go. I want to go so badly.
Yeah, we're manifesting. We're
Yes.
manifesting. Yes. How do you personally prepare, or how are you preparing for your presentation?
Yeah. So I personally took a speech class, just to really make sure that I understood the time management of it, because it is a 15-minute prep and then a 5-minute talk. Like you have to speak constantly for 5 minutes, and learning how to not only write a speech and make sure you're hitting on all of the points, but in addition, making sure you're staying within that time frame and fitting in an introduction and a conclusion and everything you want to get in the middle. It was kind of difficult for me to get used to, but I would say that was probably the biggest thing that I took and did. And the second thing is definitely just looking at past examples. I found one from Nebraska, and just going over that and saying, could I answer this prompt and then this prompt, and trying to get yourself down to that time constriction, while also being a little bit spontaneous, making sure you're adding your own personal flair into it.
It's like a TED Talk.
Yeah, that's the best way I know. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. It's just like, I go up, I talk to you about this specific subject, and then I leave and hope I won. The judges will actually ask you questions and prompt you. But for what I'm doing, I feel like it's a little bit trickier, because from what I understand, they don't talk to you. You have to go off of what their body language alone.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, I have to go off of your body language while there are these bright lights in my eyes,
Yep,
and there's
yep.
a crowd full of people, and I'm just hoping I get a standing ovation.
You guys are doing fundraisers and things like that as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So we are doing the Sarah's Candy fundraiser, which I actually bought some. Sarah's Candy is really good. I've never had it before. I was very pleasantly surprised, because sometimes it's a hit or a miss, but it's very good. It's in my fridge now, and yeah, like it. None
Hashtag
of my
ad.
family. Yeah, I'm like secretly in the corner, like, no, it's terrible. You don't want this. Like my family. Student government actually ran it in years past and done Sarah's Candies, but they decided not to do it this year, and we were lucky enough to scoop it up. And so far, we've been very successful with it. I think it's been our most successful fundraiser yet. And I am really glad that we are doing this. We're also in tandem working. We put up a Toys for top box at the PALCS office to also, give back, to do it like charity drive and also give back. So we're doing two things in tandem. It's a little chaotic, but we're making it work.
You did mention themes for every single month. Maybe can you list me like a few of them for each month that you remember at least?
So obviously, I really like our competition month, and I believe that was October. And I also really like our business management month. I'm very excited for that. That's possibly April. And then I also really like I think we also have a month for entrepreneurship. And I'm very interested to see what kind of different people we get for that, because again, entrepreneurs I feel are some of the most interesting people, because everything has a story behind it. Like, you don't go into a business without a solid reason and a passion and many of these different things. And we've had business owners talk to us in the past about different things that they've done, and it's really inspiring to see how their love for this, and this all led them to something completely new and original and beautiful.
Like, do you guys decide on the topics or themes for each month, or how is that determined?
So we pick our themes at the beginning of the year just so everybody kind of gets an idea of like, oh, what's coming next month and so on. And also so we can hopefully, we have a pretty good network. We have one student in particular who has been connecting us with a lot of different people from business, which is great, so that we can, pre-plan. I'm pretty sure we already have a guest speaker set up for like April, because we already pre-planned that out. So, we can bring in those people in earlier than later. And because of these guest speakers coming in and whatnot, needing to schedule those ahead of time, I believe our advisor with our planning committee works together to plan out not only the guest speakers, but also the themes of the month every month. And obviously somebody could suggest this year for next year, a month, be like, oh, can we have last year we had personal finance. Let's say somebody was like, hey, can we have personal finance again for next year? Then we would look into that and putting that on one of the months for next year.
This is a big question. Sorry, I'm dropping the ball here. How has FBLA played that part in your life? Like, how has it affected you personally?
I am not going to lie to you. I think that it changed me a little bit to my core, like a lot to my core, because I have found some of my best friends that I don't think I would have otherwise interacted with or found. I think that I not only really cemented I wanted to go into business, I also cemented what kind of people I want to surround myself with. And I was like, I want to be around people who understand me. I want to be around people who also have a passion for what I have a passion for, and people who are very driven. So I also think that helped with the college process, because I'm like, I know what I want in this community. Now I can go out and look at colleges and try to find that same community there as well.
For students wanting to join FBLA, who should people contact? And I guess, do you have a pitch line for FBLA?
So if you're interested in FBLA, you can contact Miss Gould at tgould@palcs.org. And or also myself, P. Rebuck at palcsmail.org. And either one of us would be more than happy to connect you with our community and getting you set up in coming to a meeting. And again, there's no pressure. If you come to one and you're like, this isn't for me, this is not what I'm looking for, that's totally fine. We're not going to be like, you need to join, you need to sign this paper. No, it's very low key. Check it out. And if you like it, keep coming. And if you don't, that's fine too. And my definitely pitch would be, if you're interested in business and you're already taking business classes, but you're not 100% sure what you want to do, why not explore that a little bit further, while also making friends along the way and getting insight and experience from other people who have been in FBLA a little bit longer, and connecting to people in those industries via our guest speakers. We want to help you help yourself.
Game terms.
Kickball. Or
okay.
Kick.
Yeah. Words associated with exercise.
Kickboxing.
Things that are cold.
Kinetic sand?
Kinetic sand? Is that cold?
I don't know. I don't think what name.
A girl's name.
Karen.
Kathy.
Oh, yeah.
Gifts or presents?
Oh, the only thing I can think of is the German thing.
I know
It's
what you're
like
talking about.
anti-Santa Claus. I think it's Krampus.
Krampus?
Yes, Krampus!
Is that a gift?
No, but that's
Okay, I'm gonna
good.
accept it. I'll accept it. Awards
Yeah.
and ceremonies. Awards and ceremonies.
Killer? Like, that was killer that you did that.
Foreign cities. Foreign cities.
Oh, cities?
In Indonesia, I think, or in Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur. I think that's. I'm
Okay.
not saying that correct. I'm not saying that correct.
Yeah.
That starts with a K. You know what? We won. I think we won.
Yeah.
I think we won. That was good.
When I came to PALCS, I was really shy. I wasn't thinking about joining any clubs or organizations because it was really hard for me to communicate with others. But once I joined FBLA, everyone was so friendly and it was just a nice group of friends, and that helped me get on my shell a little bit, and I met my best friends. I have many leadership skills from being in FBLA. I've learned so much and I can use that anywhere that I go, and I've learned lots of team skills, and it has really helped me, and I'm sure it'll help you in your future.
FBLA has allowed me to improve on a lot of my skills, like for instance, doing graphic design for all of the things on social media. I now can take that skill into college and be able to be on the social media teams for a lot of the clubs that I'm a part of. It has also taught me how to be in a leadership position. Being co-president with Kiera was a lot of fun. And it also was just so fun, being able to talk to people and get to know people and just network with like-minded people.
FBLA really helped me engage with my community and with school friends. And I felt like I could be more involved and learn more about how to be a leader and how to communicate and how to be a team member.
I would definitely say join the committees that they have. Being in the committees allows you to be part of a lot of the decision making that happens in FBLA, especially fundraising and socials and things like that, membership as well. And I would also say if you're up for it to run for those big positions like vice president or treasury or president and things like that, to really, get the full experience of FBLA and be able to be have a good impact in PALCS chapter.
Join FBLA!
As we head here into the winter break, we want to ask you to get in touch with us. Send us some pics, some vids, some shout outs from winter break. Let us know what you're doing, what you're up to, and something that is inspiring you.
We want to see pictures of your animals.
She wants pictures of your animals. I'll take anything winter break related. If it's you with your head on a pillow getting some extra Z's, I will take it and live vicariously through you.